Okay, let's jump right into a story of incredible military power and a really shocking paradox. It all starts with one of the most fearsome weapons on Earth, but it ends with a vulnerability so simple, it's almost hard to believe. So, to really understand the future of air power, you have to start with the current king of the sky, the B-2 Spirit stealth bomber. This isn't just a plane. It's a machine built for missions so complex, they honestly sound like something out of science fiction. And look at this breakdown. This is not science fiction. A single long-range strike is this massive, perfectly planned operation. It's like a symphony in the sky. You need tankers for gas, growlers to jam enemy radar, and F-22 Raptors to protect it. Dozens of planes all working in concert just to get one bomber to its target and safely home. And the tip of that spear is the GBU-57. Now, calling this a bomb is an understatement. This is a 30,000-pound bunker buster, and it's so massive a B-2 can only carry two of them. It doesn't have an engine, it just uses gravity, guiding its own immense weight with pinpoint GPS accuracy. The power we're talking about is just staggering. This thing can punch through 200 feet of reinforced concrete. To put that in perspective, imagine a 20-story building made of solid concrete. This weapon can drill right through it. It means basically no target on Earth is truly safe. Now, as incredible as the B-2 is, it's actually been around for a while. So of course, the US is already building its successor, a bomber designed from the ground up to be even more dominant, more invisible, and way more lethal. And here it is, meet the B-21 Raider. This is America's next-generation strategic bomber. This is the plane that's meant to guarantee air superiority for the next 50 years, and it's built to operate in the most dangerous, heavily defended places you can imagine. You know, the B-21 is just a huge leap forward in technology. We're talking next-level stealth materials, systems that can hide its heat signature from sensors, and a design that lets it be upgraded constantly. The goal here is simple. Make an aircraft that is practically a ghost in the sky and one that can adapt to any threat that comes along. So, okay, we've got this unstoppable, invisible billion-dollar spear. But you know how the stories go, every perfect weapon has an Achilles heel. And what if the B-21's fatal flaw has absolutely nothing to do with all its advanced technology? Because the biggest threat to this entire $203 billion fleet isn't some enemy fighter jet. It's on the ground, where these amazing machines have to live. And the vulnerability is something shockingly simple. It's concrete. See, the whole problem, and weirdly enough, the solution, comes down to this. Hardened aircraft shelters, or HAZ for short. Now, these aren't just garages for planes. They're literal fortresses of concrete and steel, designed to protect aircraft from cruise missiles, spy satellites, you name it. And here's where the contrast gets really critical. The US, for the most part, keeps its planes in these thin metal hangars. Meanwhile, its biggest strategic competitor, well, they've gone down a very, very different road. The difference in strategy becomes so stark, it's almost unbelievable when you look at the numbers. It shows exactly how two world powers are getting ready for a potential fight. Take a look at this. Since the early 2010s, China has built over 3,000 of these hardened shelters. 3,000. And what was the Pentagon's initial plan for the brand new B-21 fleet in the Indo-Pacific? Zero. A big fat zero. Let this number sink in for a second. The United States is pouring over $200 billion into this new bomber fleet. That's for development, buying the planes, and operating them. It's one of the most expensive military programs in history. And yet, according to a report from the Hudson Institute, the first decision was to just skip, spending about $30 million on shelters. $30 million. That is a rounding error on a $200 billion program. It's a tiny fraction of a percent to protect this massive investment. Now, you might think, okay, maybe this is a new problem, something for the modern era of warfare. But it's not. It's actually a lesson that history has taught us over and over and over again, usually with pretty devastating results. The whole idea of hardened shelters came directly from seeing air forces get wiped out on the ground in the mid-20th century. During the Cold War, you better believe both NATO and the Warsaw Pact knew that a war could be won or lost based on who could protect their planes on the ground. Military strategists have known this for ages. The easiest, most efficient way to win an air war is to destroy the other guy's planes before they can even get off the ground. You win the fight without ever having to actually fight.
The Yom Kippur War proved this whole concept beyond a shadow of a doubt. Egypt and Syria, they knew Israeli airstrikes were coming, so they tucked their planes away in shelters. The result? Israel flew hundreds of attacks and only destroyed 22 planes on the ground. Those shelters made sure the war wasn't over before it even started.
So that brings us right back to today and the central paradox of America's air power strategy. It's a massive $200 billion gamble that pits the world's most advanced technology against a fundamental, almost ancient rule of warfare. This table really puts it all in a nutshell. The U.S. is perfecting the Spear, building the most advanced, world-leading offensive aircraft. But at the same time, its strategy has completely neglected the Shield, the basic, simple infrastructure you need to protect that Spear when you're not using it. And that's really the bottom line, isn't it? It doesn't matter how fast, how stealthy, or how deadly your plane is, if it can be destroyed in its hangar by a simple, conventional missile. And this isn't just about protecting planes. It's about protecting a cornerstone of America's national deterrence. So it leaves us with this really critical question for the 21st century. What actually defines military strength today? Is it having the sharpest, most high-tech spear? Or is it simply having a spear that can't be broken before you even get a chance to throw it?